I just think the pressure of the finals won't overwhelm the Celtics. They've been here before, and when you're playing in your first finals as Luka Doncic is, and I know he's played all over the world, and he hasn't played in Boston in the finals. I really think that the crowd, just the overall, man, I'm telling you, Skip, when I played in the finals, just the production of it alone is just incredible. It can overwhelm you. It really can. The production of it all, because Dallas is not a big market team now. Now you're going into the finals to where hundreds of cameras, interviews every day, the production of all these lights. Man, when I first saw all of that, it can be intimidating. And I really think this is going to get to the Mavericks in Game 1. I do think Celtics will win pretty handily in Game 1, and I think it'll be a closer Game 2. Because now you get a chance to really get a feel of the finals. But I just think when I look from top to bottom and adding Porzingis back to the lineup, whether he comes off the bench or is in the starting lineup, I think he's the ultimate X factor. Because will he score 20 a game? I don't know. But his presence alone, defensively, offensively, what he brings in the switches, the scheme of things, Dallas hasn't seen anything like this type of offense. There'll be more pressure on Kyrie and Luka to play defense like they haven't in the past few series, I believe, because they haven't had certain matchups to where it will put pressure on them. And I think from top to bottom, whether it's Drew Holiday, whether it's Derek White, whether it's Tatum, Brown, or Porzingis, it's going to really put some pressure on Dallas's defense, and especially their two most offensively gifted players that they haven't had to go through throughout the playoffs. And so I just think Boston will try to establish their home court, which they haven't played consistently well at in the last few years. They've lost 2 games there, haven't lost on the road. I think that's something that's probably been talked about all week. Establishing their home court, establishing some home dominance in the finals, and I just can't see them losing a home game, especially Game 1 in the finals.
You know, Game 1 is important, obviously. And when you look at the history, since we always like to point to the history of sports, you look at the history in Game 1, the winner of Game 1 goes on and wins the series 70% of the time. Game 1 at home is 58-19 in the first game at home, Skip. So history says it's on Boston's side. And I don't think that they're going to get off to a sluggish start. I think, if anything, they understand the moment that they got to seize. There's a lot of question marks out there about what type of team is getting ready to take the floor tonight. There's not a lot of question marks about the Dallas Mavericks, what type of team's going to come on the floor for them tonight. All the questions is about, can Tatum and Brown get us over the hump? Now that we got Porzingis back, there's no excuses. We failed at this along the way several times before. Luka and Kyrie, nobody's talking like that. They're just saying, can Luka go in and steal a game? So all that pressure that is on Tatum and Brown and company to come out of this thing in the end in Game 6 and close it out, that's a lot of pressure. So they can't get off to a bad start skipping Game 1. They've got to defend. They've got to score. They can't allow Luka to have 20 points at the end of the first quarter. Because now the antidote to that is that Boston crowd that he's talking about, that duck boat and all that, you quiet that down. You sink that immediately if you allow Luka to come out there, or Kyrie, for that matter, to go out there and all of a sudden Kyrie got 20, or Luka got 20, or they got a combination of 30 because one got 15, the other got 15. Now you're going to take the crowd out the game that may never get back in it. So they got to guard against that, but I think they get Game 1. Okay. I do.
All right, so that stat you just threw back across the table at me, 58-19 in Game 1s, home teams winning Game 1s, 58-19. So help me out. Has Luka participated in any of those games? No.
That's a problem, no, Skip?
No, that's an advantage, Luka. That's a disadvantage, Boston. Luka Doncic has turned into the ultimate road warrior.
Yeah.
If he has anything in common with Michael Jordan, it's this. He is Jordan-esque in the way he picks little fights with fans in the stands of away games. and says, that's for you and that's for you and screw you.
He better not be doing that in Boston, Skip.
We'll see. We'll see.
He won't get no sleep. He won't get no sleep in that hotel.
Well, I'm
better be
afraid
careful what
your
restaurant he go
team
to.
might not get a lot of sleep after tonight's game.
This ain't Minnesota,
Hey,
Skip.
5 straight games Luka has won on the road with a lot of help from Kyrie and everybody else. But this
ain't
team has won
OKC,
5 straight
Skip.
road games in the Western Conference.
How many banners is in OKC in Minnesota?
Okay, but you played in the Eastern Conference playoffs and you walked on cake all the way to the finals.
I get
as
it.
in cake walking.
I get
That's
it.
what you did.
I get it.
And every team you got was beat up and decimated
Okay.
and had lost their best player. And it was one thing after nothing. I was just like, come on, just call it off and put them in the finals.
Right.
So you're here.
Right.
But the problem is you got here way too quickly because you've been off for a month. You've been off for a month.
We've been off 2 days more than Dallas.
Okay,
That's
3
it.
days more than Dallas.
2.5.
You have had 10 days to sweat this. Your best player is Jason Tatum, although I can certainly make a case for Jaylen Brown, but Jason has had to sit on the hottest seat in the finals for 10 days and just sweat like he's in a sauna and sweat and sweat and sweat. And he talked about it yesterday, and we're going to talk about it deeply later in the show. But the point is, I pity this young man because he is in the crosshairs starting tonight, and he's had too long to think about it because it's just too long. It's almost like college football where you win your last game at USC, and then you got to wait 6 weeks until you play Northwestern in the Rose Bowl or whatever it was, right? And it's ridiculous, and it's too long, and Dallas needed it badly because Luka is beat all to hell. I do believe he's got about 16 things wrong with him, especially his knee. I think he's got a pretty serious knee.
4 to 16.
Yeah, he's got 16 things wrong with him.
What about Luka? He was in a great rhythm. He was in a great rhythm.
Yeah.
And then he sat for 10 days.
He needed it.
No.
Your team is 17-14 at home over the last 3 playoff runs.
Okay.
It's just not very good, and you lucked into a couple of easy wins this year because the other team
Throw the
didn't have
road
its
record
best
out there.
players. You know, it's
You
very
can't throw
good.
the home
Okay, but
record.
we're talking
Throw
about
the road
game
record.
1. Game 1 is at your place. The home away from home team has been the Dallas Mavericks. I think they're way better on the road than they have been at home because Luka is shooting 43% from 3 in the playoffs away. 43. He's 28% from 3 at home during these playoffs.
In the Western Conference.
Yeah, in the Western Conference, which is still the deeper,
Eastern
better
Conference, 3-hour difference. That's a factor. That's a factor.
I think everything is a factor, Skip. I understand when you look at the game 1 record and you say, well, Luka hasn't been there. Well, that's a problem because he doesn't know. I understand he's played overseas, like Paul said, and he's been a sniper overseas, and he started at 13. I get all that, the storyline.
But he's like 25 going on 35.
I
That's
get
what he
that.
is.
That's a great storyline.
Yeah.
The problem is every single round is different. It intensifies, it goes up. Like Paul was talking about, when you go in football from a wild card to a divisional round, to the championship game, to the Super Bowl, the lights and bright. Man, you got everybody looking for, you had to ask for credentials. Everybody wants to come. Everybody wants to get an interview. So it's just a lot more. I don't necessarily know that he's ready or not ready. But I will say that the Celtics have been there before and done that. They know what to expect. They know some of the expectations. I'm only talking about the 2 guys, okay? And Drew Holiday. They already know. Al Horford. But they already know what to expect. You can say, well, Kyrie knows what to expect. Yeah, that's true. Kyrie hadn't been in the championship game since when? It's been a minute. So things have changed around how they do things.
I give you that. Yet I keep hearing that the unicorn is going to be the X factor difference maker because Porzingis is reportedly back tonight. But every time I watch him talk about his calf injury, he says, well, I think it's okay. And I've been babying it and I haven't really done anything. I think it's okay. And I'll be out there, but I'm not sure. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Nobody can be 100% sure because there's nothing you can do in practice that can emulate the game. You don't play at the same speed in practice that you're going to play at the game. This is just a different type of intensity. So, it's hard. Just like we saw OG Anunoby come out. You know, he was supposedly ready, then he went out that first quarter.
Ridiculous.
And it didn't work out.
He
didn't have the same amount of time to heal.
I don't know what
either.
they were doing.
He didn't have the same amount of time to heal.
Desperation.
And so
He couldn't even walk.
No, he couldn't even
Yeah,
walk.
so it's a difference there when you don't have the same type amount of time to heal, and Anunoby didn't have that as Porzingis did, so you'll never know until you get out there. But when we start hearing reports he could have returned in the Indiana series, and then we take care of business there, and then we get another 10 days after that. I mean, hopefully,
if Boston loses game 1, I will then say that Dallas is probably going to win the series.
Why? So
because you're going to settle into the same behavior. You have to change your behavior pattern, which I think they are. I think they're going to change it. I think they're going to win game 1. But for some weird reason that they lose, then they're probably going to lose the series because they're going to start doubting themselves. Here we go again.
Why would they doubt themselves? For one, they've lost at home.
I'm just talking about in the championship. I'm talking about
in
the championship, you losing now, you looking back, you going, here we go again. It's going to happen to us again.
But they've been a stellar road team.
I think they're going to win. I'm just giving you the other side of it. That's all.
Yeah, but I think Boston has been resilient this year. They've bounced back when they've won the first home game. They've lost game 2 at home. Then they wind up winning the rest of the games. They haven't lost a road game all playoffs. And let's talk about what is their road record over the last 3 years. It's better than their home record. So even if they do lose a home game, I'm still confident in this team that they can get it done on the road.
You don't think if they lost game 1 to Dallas, Skip, that their confidence would be shaken?
I think it's a little shaky as we speak. I just think they've had so much. They've got scar tissue. They know Jason has not been great in the biggest moments in the biggest games. They were not great against Golden State 2 years ago. They turned it over. They shot poorly from 3. And
Did they win game 1 against Golden? I don't even know.
They won game 2.
Oh, so they lost game 1.
Yeah, they lost game 1 at Golden State.
Oh, was it at Golden State? Okay.
And I still say you do live and die by the 3. And you're going to jack up a bunch of 3s tonight. And are you going to make your 3? Are you going to make 23s? If you make 23s tonight, you're going to win the game.
I mean, it's pretty tough to make 23s.
Well, but I mean, I've seen them do it. They've blown people out by 50-plus points 3 different times.
They can do it. I mean, I expect a great game. I expect it to come down. I expect it to be a close game until about the 4th quarter. I think our depth will wear them down eventually.
I don't see your depth. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
What do you mean you don't see our depth?
Name them. Who is it? Like the depth of your starting 5? Or
the depth of our starting 5.
Okay, I'll give you that.
6.
Okay.
7. Skip, look at the top.
Only 6.
All right, rank the top players in this series. All right, let's say Luka's the best player in the series.
Why you gotta say Luka the best?
Thank you, because
we can. I mean,
it's true.
All right, we can say. I mean, but he's going to say Luka.
Paul knows.
Let's say Luka is the best player.
Okay.
He finished higher in the MVP vote.
Okay.
Let's just go off of that. And then who's next? Tatum?
You pick him. I like Jalen better.
All right, Jalen. All right, who's the 3rd best player in this series? All right, Tatum.
What if it's Kyrie? What if?
What if? See,
Yeah,
here we go.
but I mean, what if you
shot with these ifs?
Okay, but what if you sit back after a quarter tonight and say, "My God,
No, let's say now.
Players.
Let's say now going into it.
All right.
Let's say now before we see the first quarter.
I'll take Luka and Kyrie over
so you got
your 2
Luka,
players. I will.
You got Luka, Tatum.
Okay, just let's go down the line.
Brown.
So
Flip-flop, Kyrie. So you got those 4. However you want them. Those are the 4 best players.
Okay, that's the 4 best players.
Yeah.
Let's go after that now.
Then
what we doing after that?
Then we're going to go Derek White.
Okay.
Then we're going to go Porzingis.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go Lively.
No, you ain't going to go Lively. He come off the bench.
But his minutes...
What about Drew Holiday?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm tripping.
Oh, so now you got 5 of the top 7.
Wait,
so now you're telling me...
Drew Holiday right after Derek. Right after Derek White. Then
you said Porzingis.
I got Luka. I got Tatum. I got Brown. I got Kai.
Okay.
Those are the 4.
Okay, so now
I'm gonna go Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Derek White.
Okay.
Porzingis.
So now you telling me you got 5 of the top 7 players in this series on Boston.
Yeah.
So coming off the Mavericks bench are Derek Lively.
Okay, I like him.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
He don't even play. He don't play. Stop.
He averaged 14 points a game
you might as well get Tim Hardaway out
this regular season.
He hasn't played, though.
He's averaged 14 for his whole career, and he's had years where he averaged 18.
He didn't play last series.
He is a fire starter. Just wait. You're going to be in trouble if he suddenly gets hot-handed.
I hope they put him in.
Huh?
I
You hope?
Yeah.
Okay.
He haven't been playing. He got no rhythm.
They outside, but honestly, though, Skip, and I don't like Boston. I can't stand them, but I'm rooting for the guys. They are deeper outside of Luka and
Now
Kyrie.
we got.
They are.
Okay, just in the starting five, but not off the bench because I got
right, so-
Jaden Hardy, I got Max Kleber, Jaden Hardy. And you haven't been watching.
I've been watching him.
You haven't been watching.
I've been watching
Because
him.
every time he comes in, lights light up.
Peyton
why do
Pritchard.
you- but why do
Peyton
they-
Pritchard. What is he
Peyton
been doing?
Pritchard?
What
Little
is he
Peyton
been-
Pritchard?
Little Jaden Hardy?
Little TJ Payton?
My
Little
question-
Jay Hardy?
Okay.
My question to you, though, Skip, is why do you have to go so deep on the bench? Why, if Boston can play, they starting 6. Why do, or their top 6, 7? Why do they got to go to 9, 10, 11, and 12?
No, we don't got to go that far.
Why do they need to?
We got
Foul trouble?
Horford, Peyton Pritchard.
That's what I'm saying. So
Hey.
why would you need to? If I got a top 5, I don't need to go deep.
Here's the point about basketball. Only 5 can play at one time. And as you well know, in the end, it often comes down to who has the best player on the floor.
See, Boston, this is the thing, the key. Boston can withstand foul trouble from their stars, one of the stars. The Mavs, it's tough. Say Luka or Kyrie get 2 fouls in the first quarter,
All right.
it's trouble. It's trouble. You know what I'm saying? They can withstand foul trouble. And they can withstand one of their stars not having a great game. It's not a lot of room for Dallas in this series. You say, okay, Luka got to give you about 28, 8 and 8. Kai got to give you about 25. And so if that don't happen, it's not a lot of room for error. Whereas on the other side, they have a little more room for error once you throw Porzingis into the mix.
Okay.
Because he's a guy that can get you on any given night a 25-point game.
So you have the Boston Celtics winning game 1 by
I got him by about 8.
8.
8.
How about 10?
You want them to win by 10?
No, do you?
I truly think they're going to win by more than that.
Okay. Give me 10 and I'll take it right now.
I'll give you 8.
8?
Yep.
Wait, I think we had a little chat in the hallway before the show.
I said 6.5, 7. Now I'm saying 8.
Well, you said 10 at one point, right?
You get 8.
Oh, so we are redoing what we did in the hallway. I said, good, I'll take it in the hallway.
You said 8.
No, I said 10, I'll take
What
it.
does it matter, though?
Huh?
It don't matter. Win is a win. Right. He never want to take it
this is
straight
for a
up.
dinner. This
You
is
got Dallas winning game 1, though.
I think they're going to win one of these 2 games, and I like Dallas's chances the best tonight because I don't think you're going to be ready for this. You haven't seen anything like the Dallas Mavericks.
No, not at all.
Okay, so
Not-
you gave me
not
10,
in the playoffs.
10 for a dinner tonight,
No, I
right?
gave you 8. I gave you 8. 8.
All right, I'll take 8.
All right, there we go.
I'll take 8. I'm up
There we go.
3, so
No, you have
we got
1.
this one. No, I'm up 3 dinners. I'm definitely up 3.
If it's-
We're not going to revise that history. Okay, so you got them by 8. What do you got them winning by?
Man, they're going to cover.
Just
And
cover?
I wouldn't be shocked if they win by like 11.
All right.
They're going to cover.
Keyshawn
And
says
then,
by 11. Luka, are you watching?
if Luka worried about me, he already in trouble.
If he
Well,
watching
if he
this,
points to the camera in the fourth quarter and says, "That's for you,"
If he
worried
watching
about
this,
me,
he not ready. He not
Yeah,
gonna
if
be
he
ready for
worried
this
about
game.
me, he in trouble anyway.
If he watching
You
this,
shouldn't be listening to me.
all he
Let me
needs
see,
is the
it's 10,
littlest.
15.
If I got to motivate you, something wrong with you.
No, somebody will motivate him tonight. I just hope somebody calls him something that he doesn't like.
Oh, somebody definitely gonna do that.
They'll call him something.
Yeah, they gonna definitely. They gonna say it in Slovenia.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.